the last 20 hours, I've been in Skopje, the capital of North Macedonia, and I'm so excited to share the city with you. It's a place I've honestly wanted to go since we moved to the Balkans a little over a year ago, and it is so much cooler than I thought it would be. I'm sorry to say something was up with my audio. A lot of it was just crunchy and unintelligible, but that's alright because I remember what I was talking about, so I'm just going to kind of voice over it. Originally, I was just super intrigued because I had heard this story about, of course, it has like rich, old history, just like everywhere else in the Balkans. But in the 1960s, there was a big earthquake that leveled like around 80% of the entire city. And so Yugoslavia, of course, came and built the city back up, but they built it up with that like concrete block, brutalist, communist architecture. And so what I'd heard is that the city used to just be like bland concrete block. But somewhere around 2014 or so, there was this massive effort. The nation of North Macedonia wanted to bring those tourism dollars. And so they spent insane amounts of money. I'm talking like somewhere around 12 or 15% of the entire national budget for several years in a row on a beautification project, just trying to make Skopje beautiful and bring in tourists. What I'd read is that a lot of this was nonsense. And some of that is true, but there's a lot more authenticity here than I had read or heard anywhere. So I was excited to see a lot of that. And what I experienced was so much more. Now, some of what I'd read and heard is definitely true, like double-decker buses and pirate ships. These are things that are obviously just like throwing stuff at the wall, being like, oh, maybe tourists will come. And they don't have any historical context here. But you also read about the insane number of statues, which is true. And at least the ones I recognized are really important figures in the history of this area, like a lot of old Slavic, Balkan figures of the church and military leaders. Now, I don't know about all the statues, because there are literally thousands. One of the things coming up that is so rad that I had not read about is Skopje has the biggest bazaar in the Balkans. Now, in my experience, sometimes bazaars are super fun and sometimes they're kind of a letdown. This one is amazing. It's the kind of place that when I walked into this bazaar, it made me feel like I wish I had a lot more than one night. All right, so let's go check out Skopje. So I parked pretty close to the center, and as soon as I got on my car, there's this little plaza. It is super, super beautiful. The fountain wasn't on. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but this column is beautiful. I love the juxtaposition and architecture. Like, this white building is gorgeous, and then you have the concrete block buildings next to it. These street lamps are amazing. Like, I'm not even really in like the center proper of the city, and it's already kind of blowing my mind a little bit. And then right next to it is this madness. Like, I guess they're replacing these or something, but they didn't put them anywhere. They just piled them up on the street. It's like true Balkan fashion. Here's one of those double-decker buses I was talking about. They are everywhere. I think this area was not part of the beautification project. It just is beautiful. And so some of the art is like old and some of it's modern. The buildings are gorgeous. Now we're getting into like the proper central square. And you can see like some money was definitely spent building these up and beautifying these buildings. This is the one statue I'd read about. Technically, it's a man on a horse. More on that in a little bit. But everywhere you look in the city, it's statues and beautiful streetlights and beautiful architecture and buildings. And nothing is similar. And there's fountains. It's very alive. There's people and young families and people are out having a good time. Super amazing. I really, really loved it. There's these really nice bike paths that go along the river. I wished I had my bike with me so I could ride up and down it and see how far it goes, but something for another trip. You can see there's these bridges, and all the bridges are different from one another. They're also super gorgeous. This city is super crazy. It's in the center here. It's literally like everywhere you look, there's statues and bridges and fountains and more statues and more fountains. It's everywhere, and it's all really pretty and well designed, but it's also like a little bit of chaotic madness, and there's pirate ships. And I don't mean like there's a pirate ship or two. I mean like if you walk up and down the river, there are a whole bunch of them. They're clearly just tourist attractions. There's nothing historical about these. I loved these pots. They're just painted really beautiful. Little willow tree right in the middle of the river. It's super pretty. There are 3 of these willow tree planters in the middle of the river, and they read Faith, Hope, and Love. And this is a different bridge, also covered with statues. And this is a different pirate ship. These pirate ships are obviously restaurants, so I don't know if they couldn't sustain the business or what, but it's super funky and fun to see. Of course, more super ornate light fixtures. Like I'm saying, everywhere you look, statues. This one actually looks like it could be pretty old. And it does seem like there's cultural stories here. You have the mom, I don't know if she's saying goodbye to the children. I'm sure it's part of a historical story. And like a lot of stories in the Balkans, it might be a little bit sad. But it's super important to immortalize these stories. It's obviously a huge statue to some academics. Then you walk past it and there's this beautiful little statue of these people diving into the river. It's funny because the statue's not even that small, but it's small enough. It's just like a detail that you could totally miss. Like I was saying, the bridges are all totally different from each other. And the facades of the buildings even are totally different from each other. This was cool. It's like a statue of a tree wrapped around some sort of lamppost or something, but then it's being grown over by actual trees. And in the background here, I just thought this was an interesting juxtaposition that you have the pirate ship that's just kitschy and has no real place here. And then in the background, you have this massive fortress that obviously has a deeply rooted story, or honestly, probably several centuries of stories. Being downtown here is really fun. I'm really enjoying it. Is it a little bit kitschy? Yeah, it does. It feels a little bit kitschy, but it doesn't take away from the fun of just beautiful things. It's really cool to see. Just a few hours away from Lake Ohrid, which is amazing. A few hours away from Niš in Serbia, which is actually an interesting juxtaposition to this city. Niš is steeped in authenticity, and it doesn't have any of this massive, incredible beauty. But it does have all of that authenticity. I really appreciate both. We had awesome times in Niš, some of the best food I've ever eaten in my life down in Niš, Serbia. But right here in Skopje, this is super fun also. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to check out the Bazaar and the fortress. I forgot to mention, it's also the birthplace of Mother Teresa. So there's a dedicated home to her, a little museum action. It's going to be really fun. We're only here for one day, so let's see how much we can get through. So someone asked me, what is Skopje about? I think I would have a couple answers, and the first one is, if you love beautiful things, you're going to love Skopje. I know I'm just repeating it, but the town center here is just absolutely covered with fountains and statues and statues and statues and fountains and bridges and double-digger buses and pirate ships and statues and fountains. It's amazing. So I'd read about this man on a horse statue, which is interesting. It seems to very clearly be Alexander the Great, who was from Macedonia, and it's interesting because it's all about EU membership. It's crazy the way politics plays into stuff like this. So Greece is an EU member, and Macedonia is a region in northern Greece, and North Macedonia would like to be an EU member, but EU member states have veto power. So Greece used to continue to veto North Macedonia's application into the EU, and that's why North Macedonia is no longer Macedonia the way it was when I was a kid. The name of the nation is now North Macedonia, which is strangely political, but also I guess it does clarify things. Because to be honest, Macedonia being a region in Greece and also another nation is a little confusing. Here's Arc de Triomphe type of thing. I love the weird, different architecture. And I don't mean weird in a bad way. I mean, it makes these buildings so striking. It's like you have this beautiful old style type of buildings, but then you also have these concrete blocks that just kind of like stand out. And when you drive around the city, you see really incredible different architecture. And it's not all the classically beautiful type of thing, but also none of the buildings are really that similar. They're all super different, and it just makes it really fun. And even though they're concrete, some of them are painted different colors, and there's lots of windows and glass and parks and greenery everywhere you look in the city. It's kind of nestled between these little mountains. They're kind of more just like big hills, but still it adds a backdrop everywhere you look. It makes everything really pretty. So here I'm crossing over the ridge and headed over towards the Bazaar. Behind me is the man on a horse statue, and in front of me up there on the left, you can see another statue that looks a whole lot like Alexander the Great. And of course, more fountains and more statues and more beautiful architecture everywhere you look. When you pass this massive statue behind me, you enter like this old town bazaar area, which is honestly huge. It's like pretty amazing. And like any true real bazaar, you can get anything here. Like from things for your cell phone to like knit woolen things to whatever, like candies, ice cream, hookah, market things. It's amazing. It's super, super fun. I planned this badly, so I'm gonna run out of battery soon, but I'm gonna show off what I can. This place is super, super cool. Really fun area. This bazaar was so much fun, and I am so excited to go back with my wife. Even the shopping stuff, there was old like Yugoslav area stuff that's really fun. 1,000 little cafes, places to eat, like a big jewelry district kind of section. It's huge, and all of these little winding streets are beautiful. Some of it has like this cool colored stone on the ground, but it's so big, like everything changes and none of it's the same as you walk through. Of course, 1,000 souvenir shops, but like old chainmail armor. This is what I'm talking about, like old Yugoslav era stuff that's just super fun. I love these umbrellas. Just adds like splashes of color to everything. Lights everywhere in the trees and all around. Places are painted like cool colors. Old antique stuff. Some of it's on like the military theme, but some of it's just like legit old housewares. There are a few mosques inside of the bazaar. It's so pretty. And dozens of cafes. This would truly be the super fun thing to do. Just like hang out and have coffee and drinks and some great food to eat. And you can see I'm a little bit early here. The sun's still up, and so none of the seats are full. I love in the Balkans the juxtaposition of how some things are just like really well kept and some things like the facade's crumbling a little bit, and it just adds a ton of character to everything. Here I'm in like the jewelry district area, and so you can see like everything's closed up because I'm too late in the day, but I'm too early in the day for the cafe area. I love the juxtaposition of the buildings standing next to each other. Like some of them are very clearly new concrete block stuff, but some of it is legit old stone buildings. Just beautiful. And on top of it, the crowds aren't bad. Everyone's excited to see tourists around the city, at least in my experience. Super amazing, fun place. This dude was making cevapi and the line was like around the corner. And if you enjoyed this video about Skopje, this road trip, I've been to so many cool places. I've been a lot of places in the Balkans now, and I honestly think this is some of the best of it. In this playlist featuring this road trip, I went to the mountains on the peaks of the Balkans in Montenegro. I went to the mountains of the peaks of the Balkans in Albania. We went to Lake Ohrid, and now here in Skopje. It's really incredible. Beautiful, beautiful places. So if you're interested in beautiful places, check out the playlist here.